Oh, good girl. Hey, this is Joe Everson with Thumbprint Photography. Today I'm going to teach you how to get those cotton candy color edits to your photos. Yes, we are. I'm an artist. I enjoy playing with color and the palette, so why not do it in photography? So let's get started. Much like the other tutorials, I'm going to create 3 duplicate layers. Now I'm going to actually work from the top down. I'm going to have the top layer selected, go to Filter, and go to Camera Raw Filter. Once you're in Camera Raw Filter, I want to start separating cool tones and hot tones. So we're going to move that blue. We're going to pull this magenta over a little bit. Sharpening or anything, we're not going to do anything with that yet. I'm not worried about the skin. I'm thinking about the clothes and the background when I'm doing this. So it is going to affect the skin, but hang on. So then we move the reds over quite a bit here. I'll move into the blues and I'll actually pull them towards the aqua color. And that usually does do quite a bit. You can over push to your desire. Personally, I'll probably bring it in, around here to -51. The purples can do some separation as well. I'm actually gonna leave it. I'll just push it. It's +16 more to the magenta. And then the magentas I might, +12. All right, then we're gonna go into split toning. The split toning tool is really, really powerful if there isn't a lot of color there to hang on to. In other words, if naturally in the photo there's not a lot of blues, or there's not a lot of magenta or reds, you can fake it and infuse it with split toning. That's how I look at it. That might not be exactly how split toning is supposed to be used, but it can be. So you go into the saturation, you can force red saturation into your image everywhere. I could just go like this and now we have red to hang on to, right? So to change, and if you look up in the corner up here, you'll see the magentas separate from the greens and the blues. And you don't want to overpower this, but it does give you something to play with. So I'm going to bring that up a little bit, and then I'm going to go into the shadows, and I'm going to keep them cool. So I'm going to go into the blues. You can already tell we've got something starting to take place as far as those candy colors, those cotton candy colors that I like to play with. I'm going to move into the collaboration area. So what I'm looking for is, is it too blue when I do this? Is it too red when I do this? Where's the center I want to play with? So in this case, I'm going to leave it right about here. The red, you can change the hue so it's less orange and more just into your pinks. And that's actually pretty good. So I'm going to leave it over there a little bit, and then how saturated it is. So I usually push it a little bit. The blue primary, once again, saturation, I'll actually play with this first. You can get really, really turquoisey if you want, maybe a little bit of saturation. Then I'll go all the way back to the beginning frame and do this again and find okay, there we go. Find that spot where everything wants to just click. I like that. And the vibrance I talked about earlier, this is where you could really, if you want to, you can get it really strong. Some people prefer the saturation, actually. You could play with that a little bit too. I don't know. What I'm probably going to do is create a fairly strong coloration and then take the opacity down. Anyway, okay, so now we're going to move on. I'm going to say, hey, I'm pretty happy with this. Boom, original image, now very, very changed. For the sake of this tutorial, this is where I kind of deviate from some of the other tutorials I've seen out there that have similar editing processes. I'm going to go to the eraser tool and edit right on top of the top layer. I'm gonna take it out, and I'm gonna go full opacity and flow all the way up. I'm not gonna mess around. This is gonna happen. It needs to happen kind of fast. So I'm gonna go, pretty small, and I'm gonna find all my edges. This will take a little bit, but well worth it, I think. So here we go. Now I'm actually not too worried about, you can't, as far as the hair, like the hairline and stuff, I mean, I'm actually gonna go up to it, but not be too worried if I don't quite hit it. The biggest key here is hit all of the skin. We are going to make this transition look a little better, and some of the edges, things like that. And one of the best ways to do that is to go ahead and just take the same eraser tool. Sorry, I'm just doing a little editing. Same eraser tool, and take the opacity down, maybe probably 40%, and the flow down to like 34. And then we'll make the brush a little larger. We'll make sure it's a softer brush, not that large though. Maybe something like this. 43, there's the flow. And then we go a little stronger, opacity up to 60. Make it a little more aggressive. And then I'm gonna hit, I missed a spot. Yeah, this is when you gotta look for those kinds of things. But now you can tell as I'm going over it, the blue's kind of disappearing a little bit from it. But where it's transitioning from the face to there, to the hair, for instance, it's looking a little more natural. And that's what I'm kind of looking for. So now that we reached this stage and we've softened up the areas, we've cleaned all that up, we want to make her look a little less like a Oompa Loompa. We're going to go to the middle layer, and we're going to apply that same filter. So camera raw filter. Don't select the Shift Control A or do a new raw filter. We want to do the one that we did before, exactly. So it brings in those same colors right back in that we just got rid of. And now we're going to just take the opacity layer, and usually around 50%. 47 looks really good right now. So you go all the way down here, that's what we had. Far too green. Bring some life in. So I usually come up to the point. It's kind of like tuning a guitar or a note. I might go sharp on purpose so I can see the difference and then be happy with where I end up. So, but that's how you get that coloration. Now, if you want to push it even more, sometimes I'll go back to this layer. If I'm like, I didn't really achieve it, then I'll do one more raw filter, but this time I'll select it, and you can tell it's been masked off already, so you can kind of get a feel for what's going to happen. You're like, oh, there wasn't enough blue, or there wasn't enough magenta, or whatever it might be. My blues look a little too blue, maybe, honestly. So I might come in here, give it just a little more magenta, and then apply a little bit more of that, not too much. But this is where I could really push those greens to be more of the turquoise blue, for instance. And then hit OK. Boom. There you go. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it 2 thumbs down. Don't forget to also ring that bell if you want to see more videos in the future. Until next time, we'll see you later. Say bye. Say bye, Luna. Bye. Bye.